Residence permit for EU long-term resident. Welcome to the website of the Department of Foreign Affairs of the Masovian Voivodeship Office in Warsaw. In our presentation you will learn how to easily obtain a residence permit for EU long-term resident in Poland, what documents need to be prepared, and where and when to apply. Welcome. If you have been residing in Poland legally and continuously for at least 5 years, currently have health insurance and a stable and regular source of income, and have had it for the last 3 years, and have a confirmed Polish language skill, you can apply for a residence permit for EU long-term resident. Please note that depending on the purpose of your stay in Poland, your stay may be counted only half or not at all. If you live in the Masovian Voivodeship, you should report to the Department of Foreign Affairs of the Masovian Voivodeship Office at Krucha 511 in Warsaw. Remember, you must submit the application no later than on the last day of your legal stay on the Polish territory. To submit your application, register on the portal for foreigners in POL, fill in the application form and make an appointment to visit the office at a convenient time for you. After creating an account in the Enclose system, you will also be able to attach scans of documents confirming your purpose of stay, pay the application fee and track the status of your case. Remember that when you arrive for your appointment, you must have the application form printed out from the Enclose system and signed, as well as other required documents. What documents do you have to prepare? 2 copies of a completed and signed application for a residence permit for EU long-term resident. Fill in the application in POL system provided on our website, so you can be sure that you have prepared the application correctly. 4 current color photos, 2 photocopies of a valid passport. You will have to show the original to the employee during the visit at the office for inspection. Confirmation of the stamp duty paid to the center's account taxpayer service. The payment is 640 Polish zlotys for examining the application. You can pay the payment on the spot at the office. If you have an attorney, you must also pay a stamp duty in the amount of 17 Polish zlotys per power of attorney. Documents which confirm that you have been staying in the Republic of Poland for at least 5 years. These are for example photocopies of your previous passport containing a visa and photocopies of decisions on legalizing your stay in Poland. Remember, residence in Poland for the purpose of full-time studies or vocational training is counted only half. However, residence for the purpose of part-time study or study in a form other than that indicated above shall not be counted at all. Apart from checking whether you had documents entitling you to stay in Poland, the office will also verify whether you actually stayed in our country. To obtain the permit, breaks in your stay cannot last longer than 6 months at a time, and all stays outside Poland cannot exceed a total of 10 months, unless they were caused by performance of professional duties or provision of work outside the territory of the Republic of Poland based on a contract concluded with an employer whose registered office is in the territory of the Republic of Poland, or accompanying a spouse or parent if they were staying outside Poland due to the above-mentioned reasons, or a particular personal situation which required presence outside the territory of the Republic of Poland, provided that the interruption did not last longer than 6 months, or the trip for the purpose of practical training or participation in classes provided for during study at a Polish university. To confirm these circumstances, attach documents that will support the facts that you claim. Attention! The examining period may be longer than the calendar 5 years because the stay for full-time studies or vocational training only counts for half, while the stay for part-time studies or study in a form other than the one indicated above does not count at all. Attach to the completed application a document confirming the legal title to the occupied dwelling. It is important that it is with a longer expiration date so that it is valid at the time of the decision. You can attach, for example, a rental agreement, or a lending agreement concluded with your children, parents, siblings, spouse or his or her parents together with civil status records proving the relationship. Remember to attach documents concerning the place where you live, not where you are registered. Certainly, documents confirming the knowledge of the Polish language, i.e., a certificate issued by the State Commission for the Certification of Proficiency in Polish as a foreign language at a language proficiency level of at least B1, or a certificate of completion of a school in Poland, for example primary school, junior high school, technical secondary school, or a bachelor's or master's degree with a supplement indicating that the language of instruction was Polish, or A certificate of graduation from a foreign school with Polish as the language of instruction. Documents proving possession of health insurance. ZUS RCA declarations for the last 3 months with a confirmation of sending to ZUS. Or an insurance policy confirming private health insurance covering medical expenses on the territory of the Republic of Poland. The foreign policy should be delivered together with a sworn translation into Polish. A statement made under Article 233 Section 1 of the Act of June 6, 1997, Penal Code, on the number of your dependents now and in the last 3 years. You will find the statement on our website in the section Foreigners Affairs. Documents confirming a current, stable and regular source of income sufficient to cover the costs of living for oneself and one's dependent family members, for example, a current employment contract, order contract, contract for specific work, or another basis for receiving remuneration, together with documents authorizing to perform work on the territory of the Republic of Poland. Remember, from January 1, 2022, the monthly net income for a person running a household alone should be 776 Polish zlotys and for a person in a family 600 Polish zlotys. Documents confirming having a stable and regular source of income sufficient to cover the costs of living for oneself and dependent family members for the last 3 years, for example. Employment contracts, order contract, contract for specific work or other basis for remuneration. Documents authorizing to perform work on the territory of the Republic of Poland. A certificate from the Social Insurance Institution on social insurance contributions paid for the last 3 years, including information on who the payer of contributions is, what the monthly contribution base is, whether contributions for retirement pension, sickness, accident and health insurance are paid, periods of unpaid leave or sick leave together with information on the monthly amount of sick pay received. Information about income and collected advance payments for income tax, PIT 11 or PIT 11A. Tax returns, PIT 37 or PIT 40, with a confirmation of sending to the appropriate tax office, originals to be submitted, or a certificate from the tax office stating the earned income with the amount of income, tax-deductible costs, social and health insurance contributions, and tax. Monthly net income for a single-person household should amount to 701 Polish zlotys, while per person in a family, 528 Polish zlotys. All documents provided by you should be originals or certified copies certified true by a notary or an attorney who is an attorney at law, a legal advisor, a patent attorney or a tax advisor. Documents should be prepared in Polish, and in case of foreign language documents they must be translated by a sworn translator. If the application is complete and submitted during your legal stay in Poland, you will be able to receive a stamp in your passport. If you receive a positive decision, you will have to pay the stamp duty again, this time for issuing a residence card. The payment is paid to the bank account of the Office of Finance of the Masovian Office Provincial in Warsaw. All information about payments is available on our website in the Payments tab. For how long will your permit be issued? The residence permit for a long-term resident is valid indefinitely. However, you must replace your residence card every 5 years. The application for another residence card must be submitted at least 30 days before the expiry of the residence card. Remember that if you receive a negative decision, you have the right to appeal to the authority of second instance, i.e., the head of the Office for Foreigners. You must appeal within 14 days of receiving the decision through the authority that issued the decision. Each case is individual and process of your case may be longer. If you lose or damage your residence card, you should notify the office within 3 days from the date of the incident. You should send by post a notification form available on our website and follow the instructions described there, and submit an application for replacement of the document, together with 2 photographs and a photocopy of a valid passport as well as a confirmation that a stamp duty of 50 Polish zlotys has been paid. The fee for the loss, destruction of the card is 100 Polish zlotys. Submitting a complete and properly filled out application together with all necessary documents speeds up the procedure so that you can obtain a residence card faster. To do this, use our Enclose system provided on the website. Frequently asked questions. Can the income shown on the tax return not be recognized in full? Yes, the office verifies whether the income was obtained in accordance with Polish regulations. If you are found to be carrying out work that is not in accordance with your work permit, the income from that work will not be considered as evidence of a stable and regular source of income. If you do not fall into the category of persons exempt from the obligation to have a work permit, you must have documents authorizing you to perform work for a specific employer and in a specific position. If you already have a work permit and you want to change your job or take up an additional one, your future employer must apply to the authorities for a work permit. The same should be done when changing jobs. If my spouse lives with me on the territory of Poland, do I also have to enclose documents confirming that he or she has a stable and regular source of income? Yes, unless you have had, for 3 years, an income that allows you to cover the cost of living of your spouse and minor children if they also reside in Poland. You need to attach the same set of documents as you attach to confirm that you have a stable and regular source of income. If the marriage has lasted less than 3 years, documents for the duration of the marriage must also be attached. To get a residence card, register in the Enclose system right away. Get access to the online platform. Attach the necessary documents to your case. Make an appointment. Come to the office and apply. Then track your case in the system. If you have questions, we will answer them. Write or call to us. Take part in events organized by the Department of Foreigners Affairs, informational Saturdays or open days. Details will be available on our website.